I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're delving into my testimonies of His amazing grace when God shows up. It is an inspiring book written by a terrific author. His name is Kin Szeto. This deeply personal collection of testimonies reveals the unchanging grace, mercy, and faithfulness of God in the face of life's challenges, with stories of prayer, deliverance, and victory. Kin's journey shows how faith can bring breakthrough and peace, even in the most daunting circumstances. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his powerful book. The links are below this interview. And be sure to download the Spotlight TV app, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Kin, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Crawford. I really appreciate this interview. I always love to talk to people about my testimonies. I just talk to my friends, people in the store. I just like talking about, try glorifying God. Thank you so much.
Well, I think it's great that you're talking about His mercy, His power, His grace, and I think by spreading the word, you're doing God's work, no doubt. Tell us about how your faith journey began and why you decided to share it in this book.
Yes, so I remember, I used to watch my grandmother pray every morning. She would pray at an altar, for children, for grandchildren's health, safety, divine appointments, good fortune. And she will always pray, end her prayers with thanksgiving for blessings. And from her, I learned to always include thanksgivings in my prayers. And how I started to pray, when I was taking tests, I just prayed, during New Year's, I prayed. If I did not, and how to pray for things. I prayed for good things to happen, and also against people who offended me, which I later repented of course, because I regret seeing bad things happen even to people who are mean to me. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, it's wonderful that your family helped instill this great faith in you, and the example of prayer is so important. Let's give the folks at home an overview of the book. What will they find within the pages?
Yes. So my book is it's sort of it gives a testimony of it's basically 13 vignettes of when I was like 19, and all the way through like a few months ago, of all the times God showed up in my life. 19, near-death experience, and then another near-death experience on the Coast Guard cutter, how I prayed through, leaned on faith, and also 2 suicide recoveries that I was a part of, and I prayed through and got miracles for that. That's in my book. And also other things like healings, financial breakthroughs. It's not about me. It's just like, okay, is it to glorify God that faith, there's faith, and God is real.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. What was it like writing this book?
Oh, yes. Thank you for asking. So I initially, I had sent like email testimonies to my friends, like when I had like an unction, say, oh, this is a great, vignette, great story. So I write email, and every, a couple of months I write email to my friends, and then I got like, I was like, why am I sending my friends emails about my testimonies?
Mm.
Why don't I just put it all together in a book, and then I can share it with my friends also, and also for more people, and also I can also give it to my mother and my cousins, because when I talk to them about Jesus, it's like piecemeal. But then if I give them a book, hey, read about my testimonies. I've also translated, into Chinese, one page English, the alternating pages Chinese, to help people, to reach also people that do not know English as their first language.
Yes, absolutely. That's great because it expands the reach to Chinese speaking people, which is an enormous reach, of course. Tell us a little bit about your near-death experiences. What did you experience when you had them?
Oh, yes, yes. So I remember when I was in 19, I was swimming in Austinal Beach, Costa Rica. I was caught in a riptide. I was a competent swimmer, and I noticed the buildings in the beach were getting small and still getting smaller and smaller. Like I was a block away and still getting pulled away, even though I've been trying to swim back to shore for what seemed like an eternity. I was
Mm,
getting tired, losing my breath. And then what if I and then I started thinking to myself, what if I get pulled out all the way out into the open ocean?
mm,
What if I met some sharks?
yeah.
I was like, and then I felt fear. I was like, okay, I may be young, but I don't know how to fight sharks. I've never been trained. I didn't even prepare. And I have no weapons. It just my skin, my fists and my legs. So
Mm,
I didn't know what to do to keep from drowning. So I prayed. I named off all the gods I knew at that time: God, Buddha, ancestors, spirits. And then, but I had the good fortune to also include Jesus. I
mm,
said, Jesus, save me. I am about to die. I repent of all of my sins. I did so many foolish sins, foolish things as a young person, and heard, why should I save you? And I replied, well, not for my sake, but for the sake of my mother. So she does not have to weep over me and see me, in a box. And I promise to be a better person. And I will thank you. I'll give you praise. And continue. And even if you don't save me, I thank you anyway, whether you save me or not, because I'm not sure if I even deserve to be saved. And I accept any judgment you have for me. And I was like sending my goodbyes to the people close to me, you know, and praying. But then all of a sudden, I felt like a huge surge of energy, and the wave shifted from pushing against me to pushing me forward, back towards the beach.
wow.
After a few minutes of intense swimming, I felt sand tiptoes on my feet. I kissed the beach. I thank God for saving me.
Mm,
There's more to this story in the book.
yeah.
You should read my book. That's just the beginning. Thank you.
It's an amazing story, and we appreciate what you shared with us. And there is a whole lot more in the book. It's an amazing story, folks. So you'll want to purchase this book. The links are below this interview. What do you hope readers take away from your story, from your book?
Yes. So I um let me see. I believe God answers prayers. Um, what I want to readers to take away is that um, even ordinary people can have miracles. Um, it doesn't matter, how holy or how terrible you or bad things you've done or undeserving you are. You know, everyone has a chance, has an equal chance, and the best chance is Jesus.
Mm,
You can try on your own, but I don't know. My thing is, hey, Jesus is the Lord, and there's like more than 13 instances in my book that I've prayed to God, and He's answered my prayers like supernaturally.
mm,
Not just from healing a headache. It's like life changing events when God showed up. Thank you.
yeah. Prayer is so important in your life. Talk to us about the importance of prayer, what you've learned from it, how it's impacted you.
So, um, prayer is to me is the way to talk to God, to fellowship with Him, not just to ask Him for something, but to just to be with Him, ask for His presence, ask for His guidance. Well, while you're at it, you can also ask for wisdom and anything you want, because I view Him as a father, as a friend, and I constantly pray like, hey, I wish to walk in Your ways according to Your word written in the Bible, so that I may be pleasing in Your sight. And I pray that I'm an example to other people, but not just in my mind, but also according to what's written down in the Bible. And there's plenty of examples. Um, yeah, so prayer is like so important. You know, it's like the way to contact the Almighty,
Mhm.
to meditate, and it's such a great privilege. Yeah, and, worship, prayer, praise. Yeah, I feel such a sense of peace. Like especially if I'm driving in a car, I feel some anxiety. I just pray, hey Jesus, please, be with me. Come with me with my, right beside me in my car. But it's not just for safety and protection, but I also say, hey, just show me what I need to know, educate me, and so I can follow you and lead me, and divine importance, and I'm for that too. So
Yeah.
thank you, God. So
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you have an opportunity to connect with the Almighty, and it's through prayer. So utilize it, and you do, and that's great. And I think by spreading that message is so important. Now that you've written this book, do you have plans for any other books? Tell us a little bit about your writing career.
yes, I do. If I have some more, I do have some more time. Just need to clear my schedule. I do want to write more books. I was just talking to some people. It's like I'm gonna ask my mom if she wants to write a book. She probably doesn't want to write a book. I'll write a book for her. She's telling me so
Mhm.
many stories. About the uncles, aunts that I don't know. And things in World War II, and cultural revolutions. Like,
Mhm.
um, yeah, there's so many. Oh, even things from the last dynasty. It talks about the gold, and her grandfather being someone working the last dynasty. As a lower official. So yeah, I thought that would be interesting. Also, my grandfather's side too.
Yeah.
Actually, my great grandfather also worked in the Chinese dynasty, Manchu dynasty, as
Hmm.
a government official. This is just a village official, and
Yeah.
also some World War II stories from my mother-in-law. Um, Actually, my grand uncle, during World War II. Yeah, I really like to put that down so yeah, other people could read about it and be inspired. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Looking forward to those books that you may write in the future and absolutely enjoying this book that you have out there right now. Folks, the name of the book we've been focusing on today is called My Testimonies of His Amazing Grace When God Shows Up. It is an inspiring book and a deeply personal collection of testimonies that reveal the unchanging grace, mercy, and faithfulness of God in the face of life's challenges. With stories of prayer, deliverance, and victory, Kin's journey shows us how faith can bring breakthrough and peace, even in the most daunting and challenging circumstances. Kin, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Crawford. We really appreciate it. Thank
I
you.
appreciate your time and your wisdom and your insight. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time, this time until next time on Spotlight.